Okay, so what are we doing again? Dude, I'm telling you, I'm a mess today, actually,
fine.
though. I came to the office this morning and like at noon realized I forgot all my camera gear. So I actually went back home and got it and came back.
We're fine. We're totally fine.
I do need a better game plan for these videos because I don't have one. And it's just kind of improv.
Well, maybe that's the beauty of it.
Maybe that is the beauty of it.
Well, you were having that moment earlier, so we're gonna process that first. It's kind of a hard stage of life. Like, there's so much going on and you feel like you're not doing enough if you aren't doing everything.
Even asking the question, what is the thing you're supposed to be working on?
Mm-hmm. That's true. And also there's so much noise too, and you have to focus in on what's the most important because, I mean, there's no end to the things that you could just be cramming your schedule with. Sometimes it's hard to differentiate what's God's voice telling you what you're supposed to be doing and what's just you know, just kind of coming up with filler.
This is probably silly, but sometimes I feel like I can almost let him down. I know I can't, like deep down I know I can't, but I also feel like if I miss an opportunity that he'll be disappointed in me and people will be disappointed, but then I don't even know what that thing is that I'm trying to do in the first place. So yeah, that is the question, like how do you filter out all the other distractions? How do you find your purpose?
Well, we can start with just looking at the Bible because that's right in front of us. And it says things about life that are very applicable to now.
So what are we doing here again? So I guess, yeah, let's preface what is the project we're working on. We're shooting just some sort of fun B-roll to have.
We're gonna talk about our feelings, our emotions.
I just need to practice pointing a camera at something.
We're gonna practice that. Wow. I love your laugh. It's
Dude.
like, you're like.
All right, let's go do the thing.
Okay. Hey, you.
Hey?
Do you remember the story of Mary and Martha in the Bible?
Yeah? What about it?
Luke 10:38. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had been made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." Okay.
Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, "You're worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." I do see myself in Martha quite a bit, I think, especially in the season of life that I'm in right now, where I have a lot of stuff coming up and like my focus is definitely pulled in a lot of different directions. Yeah, and I think I can get looped into all these different things and get distracted by all these different things. But then how does one focus on what really matters? So why did you think of this passage?
Well, actually, there's a really good sermon by Tim Keller that
Link it up top.
link it up top. It's talking about specifically peace and anxiety and how a lot of unrest is caused by crazy expectations. So, you know, if we're expecting to get all these things done and we're not necessarily focusing on God as the one most important thing, then, you know, if we fall short in any kind of way, like with the multiple tasks, then, you know, we feel like failures or we just are really hard on ourselves.
I really liked what you said right there about expectations. Like, I don't know, it's almost like, okay, setting expectations, even big expectations, they're almost like, they're too small for God. Like our expectations for our own life are too small and he has a bigger, more exciting plan that he's going to take us on. So when our life does go haywire and crazy, like that's good, that's okay, because God is in fact in control of that.
He's still working in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's leading to something greater.
Yeah.
So how in the moment do you, going back to narrowing your focus, like how do you narrow your focus and find the direction you're supposed to be going?
A lot of times when we have a lot of goals, our faith and, focusing on God, that's just one thing out of many things that we're focused on, when God should be the one thing, the main thing. And everything else falls into place after that. Okay, let me take that back.
Yeah.
So, verse 40. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She's preparing for Jesus' arrival and him staying at her house. But then she has other things like, I'm assuming, food, lodging, cleaning, other things that get in the way. So yes, Jesus is one of her priorities, one of the things that is on her, like, quote unquote to-do list.
But yeah, in this way, like, she has so many goals that it's made her distracted. And like, I guess that's kind of where I find myself a little bit, where I have just this mile-long list of things that I want to do and like things I'm excited about and passionate about. And, not that they all clash, but because there's so many of them, I so often get distracted or feel pulled in like every which way. One
of the things that I think is interesting and something that I've struggled with definitely in my life is I try to think of my faith from a workspace perspective, which is not good because, for salvation, like there's nothing we could have done to earn that. We could have worked and done like literally as much as we could and still not been able to be worthy of salvation. But sometimes I'll get in a mindset where I'm like, I want God to be proud of me. So at the end of my life, God will be like good job, like, good job, living. I was having a conversation with a friend this last semester, and one thing that they pointed out to me was that just being his creation is glorifying to him. Like he has so much pride and love for you, just the way that he made you, that just existing is like glorifying and honoring to him.
The evidence for that statement is seen in what Jesus did. When he was up on the cross, like everyone had turned their back on him, everyone had betrayed him, denied him, were persecuting him, were crucifying him, but like he died for us in that moment. And like, gosh, if that's not proof enough that he loves us as we are, then like nothing else is. Like that is just plain and simple evidence of like, you are enough as you are. And once the depth of that sinks in, again, it's almost like he is the only thing. Like you become like Mary, and it's like, no, this is what matters. This is what's important in this moment right now. And everything else again kind of lines up and falls into the place it needs to be at.
To land this plane, how does one narrow their focus on all the noise?
I mean, I think the simple answer is you focus on the one thing that matters most. Once you focus on following Jesus and just being present with him, I think all of the noise starts to fade away and your next steps kind of become clear. Like he makes the steps clear to you. And even in the meantime, like that patience and presence with him is enough. That's encouraging to me as I am kind of walking through all the craziness and am trying to organize all the thoughts and things I want to be doing, but like being able to step back and just trust that I can be still and I can be present with him. Like, that's enough.
And during that time with God, you realize that some things aren't as important, then you can just bye-bye.
Yes, we should clink glasses now.
Oh, okay. What, you mean toasting?
Yes.
Toasting? For alcohol, it's toasting, but for coffee, it's coffee mug clinking. Clink.
Yes, most good.
Like and subscribe.
Absolutely not.
No.
The call to action at the end of the video. I mean, sure, optional step.
How do you make tea? In the microwave or a kettle?
I won't edit in the microwave at the beginning. I'll edit it in here.
The viewers are like
incriminating evidence of how the tea was made.
Oh my gosh.